The Glock name carries serious weight in the firearms world, and when something changes in the Glock lineup, it's rarely without purpose. Over the past few years, a series of small but telling signs have been pointing toward one of the most significant updates in the company's history. Discontinued calibers like 357 SIG and 45 GAP began disappearing from official product pages. Specific Gen 4 models were retired, which wasn't surprising, until certain well-selling Gen 5 configurations were also dropped. Around the same time, leaked patents from Glock Technology GmbH surfaced, revealing design changes far beyond cosmetic tweaks. Looking at Glock's release pattern, there's a rhythm to their generational updates. Gen 4 in 2010, Gen 5 in 2017. That 7 to 8 year cycle puts us right in the window for Gen 6 to emerge. Add in reports of prototype pistols appearing in law enforcement testing, and it's clear something big is in motion. This isn't just another incremental refresh, it's a platform shift. Before diving into what's coming, it's worth remembering how each generation has moved the design forward. Gen 3 gave shooters an accessory rail and finger grooves. Gen 4 brought interchangeable backstraps and a dual recoil spring for better control. Gen 5 refined the internals, improved the barrel, and added ambidextrous slide-stop levers. Now Gen 6 appears set to deliver a deeper redesign than anything since Glock first put serial numbers on polymer frames. One of the most talked-about changes is the modular fire control unit. Borrowing from the concept seen in the SIG P320, the serialized component would no longer be the entire frame, but a self-contained unit housing the trigger mechanism, rails, and key internals. This would allow the lower grip module to be swapped independently, meaning a single pistol could shift between a full-size grip for range work and a compact grip for concealed carry, without changing the fire control. Trigger feel, or optic zero. Patent drawings suggest robust metal reinforcement and tongue and groove connections, designed to handle the same abuse as current fixed-frame Glocks. Closely tied to that modularity is the drop-in trigger module. Unlike the current design where individual parts are installed directly into the frame, the new approach encloses the trigger system in one complete cassette. It slides into place and pins down. Much like an AR-15's fire control group, the benefit isn't just manufacturing efficiency, it's flexibility. Swapping trigger characteristics could be done quickly, without gunsmithing, and Glock could offer multiple factory-tuned options right out of the box. This would also make maintenance or upgrades far simpler. Remove the module, drop in a replacement, and you're done. These two features alone represent a significant shift in how a Glock is built, maintained, and customized. And they're only the beginning of what Gen 6 is rumored to bring. And they're only the beginning. Another long-standing complaint that Glock seems ready to address is the trigger press required for takedown. For decades, the procedure has been the same. Clear the gun, pull the trigger, pull down the tabs, and slide the upper assembly forward. The issue isn't the mechanics, it's the risk. Too many negligent discharges have happened because someone forgot to clear the chamber before pulling that trigger. The Gen 6 design, according to patent filings, incorporates a spring-loaded lever behind the trigger axis that physically blocks the striker during disassembly. This means no trigger press is required to feel strip the pistol. It's a simple change with big safety implications, and it could be the kind of update that wins over law enforcement agencies concerned about training incidents. Optics are another area where Glock has lagged behind in recent years. The modular optic system, or MOS, relied on adapter plates and screws that added stack height and sometimes introduced play between the optic and slide. Competitors like Springfield's Echelon and Ruger's RXM have moved to direct mount designs that place the dot lower and closer to the bore axis. Glock's answer appears to be a COA cut system licensed from Aimpoint, with mounting points machined directly into the slide. The result? A rock-solid connection, minimal height over bore, and compatibility with multiple optic footprints via low-profile adapters. Ergonomics are also in the spotlight. Leaked information suggests an improved grip angle to provide a more natural point of aim, addressing a common complaint from shooters who felt they had to adjust their wrist position on older models. A redesigned grip texture should offer a more secure hold, especially in wet or sweaty conditions. And there's talk of multiple finishes and color options straight from the factory. These changes may seem small, but for many users, they're the difference between a pistol that feels good enough and one that feels purpose-built. All of these updates didn't happen overnight, behind the scenes. Glock has reportedly been working on Gen 6 since 2019. The initial plan targeted a 2023 release, but early versions of the modular grip system failed durability testing after around 75,000 rounds. The points where the frame connected to the grip shell weren't strong enough, so engineers reworked the design with steel reinforcement inserts. While doing so, they studied problems in other modular designs, like the SIG P320's drop safety concerns, and built-in solutions to avoid similar failures. Patent activity between 2020 and 2022 aligns with this development timeline, and by early 2025, prototypes had reportedly made their way into the hands of selected law enforcement units for evaluation. Given Glock's history and the pace of this rollout, an official announcement could come at any time, with many insiders betting on a debut at the NRA annual meeting rather than the more chaotic SHOT Show. If these changes make it into the production model, Gen 6 could land in a very different market than the one Gen 5 entered. Law enforcement agencies are an obvious early target. A safer takedown procedure reduces training incidents, and a modular frame system could simplify inventory by allowing grip customization without stocking entirely different pistols. For departments juggling officers with widely varying hand sizes, that's a logistical advantage hard to ignore. Then there's the civilian side. Enthusiasts who have been asking for factory optics mounting, better triggers, or improved ergonomics might finally get them, all without resorting to aftermarket parts or custom gunsmithing. But the same features that attract serious shooters could be less compelling to casual owners. Most people who buy a pistol for home defense or occasional range stick with one configuration and never swap frames or triggers. For them, the modular system might feel like paying for versatility they'll never use. The collector market is already reacting. Discontinued 45 gap and 357 SIG models have started climbing in value as people realize they mark the end of an era. On the flip side, used Gen 4 pistols from police trade-ins are hitting the market at deep discounts because everyone assumes they'll be obsolete once Gen 6 arrives. Historically, Glock's older generations have remained perfectly viable for decades, so those trade-ins could be a smart buy for someone who doesn't need the latest features. Pricing is likely to be a key factor in Gen 6's success. Leaked figures suggest the standard fixed grip version will retail around $649, the modular grip version around $749, and a Pro model with premium features could hit $899. That's a noticeable step up from current prices. Pushing Glock further into premium territory, the company could justify it by framing the modular setup as multiple guns in one, but convincing budget-conscious buyers may be an uphill battle, especially when solid striker-fired alternatives exist for under $500. For aftermarket manufacturers, Gen 6 presents both a challenge and an opportunity. A new architecture could mean existing parts won't fit, effectively resetting the ecosystem. If Glock provides early access or clear specifications, third-party support could develop quickly. If not, it may take years to build the same breadth of options that Gen 3.5 owners currently enjoy. So, is it worth buying when it finally arrives? For early adopters who want the latest technology, safer handling, and modular flexibility? Probably yes. For others, the smarter move might be to watch how the rollout goes and take advantage of Gen 5 price drops that almost always follow a new generation's release. Either way, Gen 6 marks a turning point for Glock. It's a clear signal that the company understands the market has moved beyond good enough reliability and into a space where customization, safety, and optics integration are the new baseline.